What if you could go from basically broke to financially free in just 5 years? Sounds kind of crazy, right? But this is a true story. Today, we're going to break down the proven path one person took from absolute rock bottom to complete freedom and how you can map out your own journey. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so let's set the scene. This was the reality for a guy named Grant. After getting fired from a job he didn't even like, he had to move back in with his parents. I mean, you can imagine, he felt like a complete and total failure. He had sent out over 200 resumes and heard nothing back. This was his absolute lowest point. But here's the thing. Right there at rock bottom, lying in a field and questioning everything, Grant set this massive goal for himself to achieve financial freedom. For the next 5 years, he went all in. We're talking devouring every book on personal finance, working multiple jobs, even starting 2 of his own companies. He failed a lot, but he just never stopped. And the result? 5 years later, he had over $1 million sitting in his account. So how in the world did he do it? Well, what Grant figured out is that this whole journey to financial freedom, it's not some big secret. It's actually a roadmap with 7 really clear stages that, honestly, anyone can follow. This is the exact framework that guided his entire transformation. All right, so the journey kicks off with clarity. That's just knowing your numbers, what's coming in and what's going out. From there, you get to self-sufficiency, where you can cover your own bills. After that, you hit breathing room, where you've got a little cushion for emergencies. Now, stability is a huge milestone. You're debt-free with a solid 6-month emergency fund. Then comes flexibility. With 2 years of expenses saved up, that gives you real options. The golden goose is financial independence, where your investments are actually paying for your life. And the final step, abundant wealth, where you have more money than you'll ever need, which gives you the freedom to make a real impact in the world. Okay, but here's the catch. Moving through these stages isn't just about stashing away cash. It really requires a huge shift in how you think about everything and a very, very specific number to aim for. So let's break down the mindset and the math you'll need. And this right here is the first huge mindset shift. Think about it. We trade our time for tiny bits of money all the time without even realizing it. Would you wait in a 30-minute line just to save $5? If you valued your time at, say, $50 an hour? No way. Once you really, truly value your time, you start making much smarter decisions about how you spend it, and that is the key to unlocking real wealth. And that leads us to probably the single most important question in this whole thing. See, financial freedom isn't just some fuzzy, feel-good idea. It's a number, a real specific number. You have to know exactly what you're shooting for. So how do you figure it out? Well, the answer is actually in this super simple but incredibly powerful formula called the 25X rule. This is like the go-to rule in the financial independence community. It basically says that to be free, you need to have saved up 25 times the amount of money you spend in 1 year. Let's put some real numbers to this so you can see how it works. So let's say your yearly expenses are 12 lakh rupees. You just multiply that by 25. Boom. Your financial freedom number, your target, is 3 crore rupees. Suddenly, that vague dream of being free becomes a real, tangible target you can actually aim for. It's a game changer. Okay, great. You hit your number. But how do you make sure that money lasts forever? This is where a clever little system called the 2-bucket strategy comes in. You split your freedom number right down the middle. Bucket 1, you put into safe, low-growth stuff to cover your expenses for the next decade or so. Bucket 2, that goes into investments for higher growth, like an index fund. You live off the safe bucket while the growth bucket does its thing. When the first one gets low, you just top it up from the gains in the second one. And that simple cycle, that's what can make your money last, well, pretty much indefinitely. All right, so you've got your target number, you've got your investment strategy, but let's be real, how do you actually get there and how do you speed things up? You need to build a powerful income engine. This is where we go from planning to some pretty aggressive action. The first thing you do is plug the biggest holes in your financial boat. Grant points to 3 main areas where most of us just hemorrhage money: housing, transportation, and food. Moving to a slightly smaller place, driving a more practical car, and cooking at home, these things can free up huge amounts of cash. And look, this isn't about giving up your daily coffee. It's about making a few big moves that free up serious cash to invest. And this next part is absolutely crucial. Cutting your expenses, that's only half the story. To really, truly speed up your journey, you can't just rely on your day job. You just have to build other ways to bring in money. For Grant, real estate was a huge part of his strategy. He used two main approaches. The first is flipping. Buy a place cheap, fix it up, and sell it for a quick profit. The second is building a rental portfolio. You buy a property with a loan, your tenants pay that loan off for you, and eventually, you own a cash-flowing asset free and clear. But hey, real estate isn't for everyone, and it's definitely not the only path. The skills you already have? Yeah, those can be your next paycheck. Whether it's graphic design, writing, or, making cool animated videos, there's a market for what you know. Freelancing and creating content are awesome ways to build a new income stream from the ground up. No matter what you do, flipping houses, freelance writing, whatever, there's one skill that ties it all together, and that skill is selling. Whether you're selling a product, a service, or just yourself in a job interview, sales is the master key to making money. Trust me, learning this is a lifelong asset. The books on this slide, they're an amazing place to start. Okay, so we've walked through the whole thing. The story, the 7 stages, the math, and the action plan. Grant's journey is the blueprint, right? But now, this is about you. Think back to where we started. Grant began with just $2.26, feeling completely hopeless. 5 years later, he was financially independent. His story is just incredible proof that no matter how far down you are, if you get your direction right and you just keep moving, a total transformation is absolutely possible. So what's the big takeaway here? The path is there. The steps are clear. Your own 5-year journey, the one that completely changes your life, could literally start today, right now. The only question is, what's your first step going to be?